Wagwan, everybody. Lennox here from Simple 123 Trader. It is the 9th day of April on a Wednesday, 2025. Glad you can join us. We are the Simple 123 Traders. And again, glad you can join us today. We have some red news. I'm going to take a look at the news right away. I think we have some red news today coming up. And it is FOMC meetings coming up in 1 hour. So at the top of the hour, we shall see what Mr. Powell has to say. This should be interesting. All right. A quick look at the US dollar versus the Euro US dollar, and we have a strong US dollar. I'm on the hourly time frame. We have a strong US dollar. Currently, we're pushing to the upside. A weak Euro pushing to the downside. So they're looking to come and kiss, perhaps, but they never do. They never ever do kiss. They never like each other that much. All right. Taking a look at the NAS. I'm currently in the NAS, but I'm in my live account currently making a move to the upside here. Just got on here on my main computers just now, looking for a continuation up. Where are we heading on the NAS? That's the question, and you know, that's a nice move. We are heading to, there is a gap right there that just painted as I did that. So that's where my target is, right at the top of that candle inside the gap right now. That's where my target is. So I'm very, very close to the target right now. So how have you made out today, George?
I had an appointment this morning,
right.
And it took longer sitting in the waiting room. So,
I see. All right.
Waiting for something to happen here.
So
Looks like we're going up right now.
We're just breaking through this order block area here and looking to push into this gap. I'm on the 30-minute. Let's go. So I just wanted to get my bearings. And so again, my target is for the high of this candle. So just about a quarter of the way into the gap is where my target is set. Will we make it there? We should make it there. We've got a 1, 2, 3 right here. So looking for them to push into it, something like that. All right, so this would have been a nice trade, even from this point here. This would have been a nice trade right there. Nice 1, 2, 3 bottom. A nice, even better entry was down here. 1, 2, 3 bottom. Catch that move there. And so one more push up, and we should be at that target area. So, all right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Currently, Bitcoin's doing the same thing. It's almost identical, and I even have a gap up there. It's almost like as if I planned that. It's crazy. So there's a 1, 2, 3 bottom. So that would have been a good trade there to the upside. 1, 2, 3 bottom here again. Nice trade to the upside. So really nice opportunities there in Bitcoin. And S&P would be identical, and it is. And Tesla would be similar, yeah. But no, we don't have a clear 1, 2, 3 here on the 15, but there is one here on the 15. So that's a nice trade to the upside. So there's a gap here. So that would be a likely stopping point, perhaps short term here, something like that into that gap. And that's similar to what the NAS is doing as well. So very nice setups here. It was a nice coming down. So what time was this at? Where's 9:30 today? 9:30 is over here. So this was from yesterday. Big drop down, beautiful. And then we got a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom. So we're on our way. It looks like we're on our way to come back up to take out these highs. Whoops, not a very good line to take out this high up here in the short term. It looks like that's the plan of attack here based on this large 1, 2, 3 here. Okay, so just to, for those on YouTube who are watching us maybe for the first time, again, we're the 1, 2, 3 simple 1, 2, 3 traders. The simple in 1, 2, 3 means that it's a simple concept, it's a simple method, simple model, but trading it is not simple. I would not say that's simple. Okay, so what is simple about our model, our method, is that we're looking for a particular setup, and it's a 1, 2, 3, and it can be any size. However, depending on the time frame that you're on, the size does matter. So you can see in here there are a number of 1, 2, 3s. So there's a 1, 2, 3 going to the upside there, but then there's a 1, 2, 3 also going to the downside here. There's a 1, 2, 3 going back to the upside. Another 1, 2, 3 going back to the downside. 1, 2, 3 going back to the upside. And there, that one went up. None of these other ones worked. So the 1, 2, 3 at the bottom here, if you went in here, you wouldn't get anywhere because they would stop you if you had your stop down below. This one, again, this one worked. The top, if you wanted to go short, that wouldn't have worked. You'd have been stopped out. And this one, if you wanted to go short, if you went in, you wouldn't get anywhere and you would be stopped out again. So depending on where you are, 1, 2, 3s can work quite well, or they might not work. So you have to be very picky about the ones that you choose. So what are the best ones? The best ones are ones that are sitting at support areas, resistance areas. Those are the best ones. So in this case here, we love to play the pullbacks on the 1, 2, 3s. So here's a 1, 2, 3, a large 1, 2, 3 with a nice pullback here, and we can catch this move. So this, if this 1, 2, 3 is legitimate, and it looks pretty legitimate, this would take us way up to take out the highs up at these levels. So because of its size, if we were to just look at the smaller one, then the smaller one is going to, because based on its size, would only take us to about the gap here, which is where we're looking to go. So again, based on the size is where how far you would go. So if I put a fib extension on this large 1, 2, 3, I would be looking for 1.618 as a target. So 1.618 is not even on the screen, it's right up here. So that would take me up to this level if I were looking to play that to the upside. So there are a number of targets, 1.618, 1.414, 1.272, but my preference is the 1.618 target. So I would, based on this large 1, 2, 3, I would be looking for price to come up to that area right up here. The rules for the 1, 2, 3 are quite simple. We have a number 1 point, we have a number 2 point, we have a number 3 point. Number 3 point cannot break number 1 point, not even by a tick. If it breaks it by a tick, it nullifies the 1, 2, 3. So that's the simple rule of the 1, 2, 3. The 1, 2, 3 is confirmed when price breaks above. Draw a better line than that. When price breaks above the number 2 point. So this is a confirmed 1, 2, 3. It doesn't have to close ideally you'd like to see it close, but it doesn't have to close above it. Just a breach is enough. Just the same thing, just a breach of the number 1 point nullifies it. Just the same way, this is now a qualified 1, 2, 3 bottom. However, they can still come down and take out this number 3 point on the move. So there's no guarantee that price is going to continue going up. Right? For all intents and purposes, this current move here, this 1, 2, 3 top here, dropping down to this level, could just be a move to this level here, and then we're coming back down again. We have to be able to discern from a higher time frame what's really going on in here. Are they just chopping price up and you know, fooling everybody and so forth, right? So that has to be taken into consideration. So it's always best to look on a higher time frame. So for example, if I go to the hourly, you get a bird's eye view of where are we and what's really going on, what's really going on that chart. So if we can discern that, then that helps us to make a better decision as to whether we should be going long or maybe putting the brakes on, you know, and so forth. Okay, so it's looking like this is possibly not done going down as yet. So it's a possibility that we might not even reach into this gap at all. So I'm going to go down to the 30, take a better look. So I do have, definitely from the 15, I do have that nice move, but this could be just a 3, and we could just drop. This could be just a third wave at this point, and I could drop one more time, take out this low and this low. So I have to be cautious here, and we're getting quite a wick on that candle currently. So on the 15, getting quite a wick. We're not able to make it into this gap. So I'm looking for another gap over here that might, and there is no other gap. So we've just taken out this high. So we have a sweep of the current high here. So are we able to continue going up, or is that it for this move to the upside? I'm going to drop to the 5 minute. And from this level, using the smaller 1, 2, 3 now, it's telling me no, it's not coming back down yet. It's telling me that based on the size of this 1, 2, 3, we've got a valid 1, 2, 3. We've broken that high. We've closed above it. We should be pushing right up into that gap above. So if I put the extension on this guy, 2, 3, then looking for 1.618. I've already hit my first target. So that would have been an out, an exit at that point perfectly. And then you could still look to go higher, but right now we could gyrate in here for a while before we do. So, but it's still pointing to a continued move to the upside here. So I wouldn't want to panic out of my trade at this point. So I do have a gap below here, which has been partially mitigated. Partially. So I'm using gaps. These are fair value gaps. This is all ICT concepts. And I must give him lots of accolades for his work and with his models, his turtle soups and things like that. The fair value gaps, order blocks, mitigation blocks, all that kind of stuff. I don't really get into most of that stuff. Basically for our 1, 2, 3, what we're looking for when we get a 1, 2, 3, we're looking for a retrace of the number from the number 2 point to the number 3 point to the 50 to 62% level. So that's our basic. This retrace level is a ratio of, you know, from a percentage, sorry, move from the high to the low in a buy. And so if we get a retrace in the 50 to 62% area, you can look to take a trade going back to the upside. You can exit at this level, you can exit at 1.27, you can exit at 100% here, you can exit at 1.272, you can exit at 1.414, you can exit at 1.618, which is my favorite one. So it all depends on where you get in here. you could make nice money to the top of number 2. You can make good money to 100%, to here, to there. So that's all you need to do, and you're done. That's basically it. So the use of fair value gaps and order blocks, mitigation blocks, breaker blocks, and so forth is not a prerequisite. But I've incorporated that because it does seem to have proved valid, and helps to, confirm the 1, 2, 3. So if there is a 1, 2, 3, and you see one like a 1, 2, 3 here, I'm going to take off the extension so we can see this a little better. If there is a 1, 2, 3, and you wanted to get in and you weren't sure if this was a good one and so forth, if you see a gap of some on this leg here, on this between number 1 and number 2 points, there's one here. So I'm gonna draw them out, and I'm going to show you what I'm referring to here, because make this a little bigger. Okay, so there is a gap here on between number 1 and number 2 points. So I would draw that across like that. If I can get it to sit, it's playing games with me. So there's another one here. This one would be considered an inverted gap. I'll explain. Okay, so the first one here, I need to come back down into inside of it. Doesn't want me to. Okay, doesn't want to. Bear with me. Wow, this thing can get testy. Let me see if I can get it to work. Almost. Wow. Okay, so there's a gap there. I think you guys get it, right? I can't get it to sit right on that gap for whatever reason here. It's just not touching it. There we go. Got it. Wow. Okay, so there's a gap here. So I don't want to be getting in on this gap here because it's too high up. So once I get my number 1 and my number 2 points, my number 1 point, my number 2 point, and price is coming back down, I don't really want to jump into the trade at this point because it's too high up. I want to be coming down into the 50 to 62% retrace level. So if I put the fib on for a retrace, I want to be looking for, to that high, I want to be looking for a 50 to 62% retrace. So 50 to 62% puts me right in this area here. So that's the 50 to 62% retrace sweet spot area. So if there's a gap above that, I don't really want to be entering the trade at this point because I want to see price come down to at least 50% or lower. And in ICT terms, this would be considered premium above 50%, the premium level, and then discount level below 50%. So you don't want to be buying in premium, right? You want to be buying in discount. So, and if you're going to buy something, you want a discount. You don't want to be buying it for higher than what you're asking. So that's the whole premise here. So the inverted gap in this case would be a better area to be buying in. So when price moves back down into the inverted gap area, that would be a better buy, especially when price is rebounding off that inverted gap in this area, which is right in the 50 to 62% area. So that's kind of a perfect 1, 2, 3 setup there. And we're looking for that for an entry and then this move to the upside. So now they've touched the gap. So I should be out of my trade now. Yes, I am out. So that made it to target beautifully. And so my target was just right at that level. I'll post that. I'll post it in the room and I'll put that trade up so that everybody can see it. Just so that they. Okay. That's quite a nice move. I was while I was talking there, I was watching this and I thought, wow, they came back right into that gap here. That would have been a nice buy, just to go up real quick. But very quick move there. Okay, so my entry price was. All right, so that is still going. I'm trying to do two things at one time here. 17,350.
I caught that run up.
Excellent. Excellent, Peter. I mean, this is a very strong move to the upside there.
Yeah, I got in at the right time.
One of the board members of the Federal Reserve said the rate cuts are slim.
Well, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Hey, George? George? Hello? Is that a good thing or a bad thing, George?
Pardon?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well,
It's a bad thing.
it's
Yeah?
I don't know what to tell you at this point because there's so many different opinions around. But basically, I think that this is going the way that Powell would like to go, not the way Trump would like to go. Trump would like to see interest rates drop so people can get mortgages easier, etc.
Yeah, this thing is. So I set a target that was quite low on that, because I kind of felt that maybe this gap might hold us. But looking at it, based on the larger 1, 2, 3, when I looked at this morning when I got in, or earlier when I got in, I looked at it. I wasn't looking at this 1, 2, 3 as a real 1, 2, 3 to go all the way up to take out the highs. Otherwise, I would have set my target for up here. I set my target just for inside this gap because I thought perhaps they would just come back to the halfway point and maybe we get a retrace here. And whether they're going to come back down or continue again, I would reassess at that point. So, but interesting move there.
Money in the bank.
Indeed. So I'm going to post this to Skype here. So let's see if it'll come into the Skype room. Just haven't been having any luck sending anything to the rooms. Let's see if it does go. Yeah, it's not going. So there they go. So that's what they were heading for, to take out that high. So again, based on the larger 1, 2, 3, we can see that that's certainly was an achievable move. Okay, so they're not able to send this. Very annoying. And there they made that high. So beautiful delivery there. So if I move my, okay, let's get rid of this guy. If I put my extension back onto this 1, 2, 3 bottom here, calculate where price has gone. 1.618 is what would have been my target. And you could use this as a target, or even this one here as a target as well. So you have that option. So this high here as well has been taken out. So that's a good target there as well. And this, of course, this high here was a target. So 1.618 would, again, is my fave target. So I would have gone for that one there. And looks like we're going to make it there as well. So really nice move from the bottom here, and this is Tesla here, so this is really nice. Good on you, Peter, to catch that. So
Thank you.
Coming back down to this level, yeah, very choppy in here. This is where I entered earlier down in here on that move, and I was out quite early on the NAS. So if I go back to the NAS, same kind of move. I entered quite early down in this gap, and the move went up, but I was out at the first, I think it's the first gap or a second gap here that I'm out, but so out pretty quick, and then this move kept on going. So quite the move there. So let's see if it's a similar thing on the NAS here. I'm trying to find to look to the left. Here we go. Okay, so
looks like 918.
there aren't any gaps up here. No gaps. No gaps on the 4 hour. There's just this one gap right here on the 4 hour. So I could see that. So we went right through that gap on the 4 hour. So if I drop down to the hourly, that's that gap there. So we might just wick back into that at this point. So looking at it from this standpoint, on the hourly, yeah, that gap comes into play as well. So we've swept these highs to the left, and we could be turning around, but based on our 1, 2, 3 and our structure, and so our structure, we get a 1, 2, 3. We look for this move to the upside. The next thing that we are looking for is another pullback, which should not break this high. So we don't want to see price coming back below this level. We optimally want to see price maybe just skirt that level and continue up and take out this high here. So that's our typical structure that we're looking for. So once we can identify a structure, even from a higher time frame, we know that we can come in at this level here and look for our 1, 2, 3s. So we can come even to this area and look for a 1, 2, 3 to the downside. We can even get a 1, 2, 3 to the downside here. We can get a 1, 2, 3 to start the move here because we're coming from something, from the left. We can look for a 1, 2, 3 at the top to come back down again, and then continue the move and look for a 1, 2, 3 down this level to continue. So that's the overall structure that we're looking at. But the 1, 2, 3 is the key to everything. So in this case, this 1, 2, 3 is the key to the move. Okay, it's just not sending it up there, George. I can't send this. Just won't let me send my chart.
Huh.
It says it's sent. It says 100% complete, but it doesn't go. So I'm not sure why. It's a little frustrating. Okay, I'll try restarting my iPad. Maybe that might help. Okay, so where are we going to go next here? So the expected move now is, since we do have a 1, 2, 3 here, so this would be like right here. And we got our 1, 2, 3. So since we got this move up, that would be that leg right there. So then we would expect a move back down, and then a continuation to come back and take out this high. That's just the structure. So if we're correct, this is what we would expect to happen, and that should play out that way. What is difficult though is when we get to this point. So we have a 1, we have a 2. This is Elliott wave, using Elliott wave theory, 1, 2, 3, 4. If this is our 4 at this point, and we're looking for a number 5 up here to break number 3, then in this 3 to 4, number of things can happen. They can make price come down like that. They can make price come like that. They can make price go like that. So there's a number of scenarios that can play out in here, and we don't know what they're going to do in here. So it's always the choppy area. They call it accumulation, manipulation, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is always a very dangerous choppy area, trying to get out of here to take out number 3. So this is the ideal play, is to catch the 1, 2, 3 at this point to this level and get out and take your money and go to the bank. If you start to play around in here, it can get very dangerous, and you can lose what you just made to this point. So
good morning.
Good morning, Armin.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm a little bit hyped up right now.
You sound like you're awake.
Yeah. I wasn't sleeping well last night, and I slept in this morning, and I just got up and had some time with the Lord. You know, he's giving me some downloads, and so now I'm all excited again.
You must have caught this move on Tesla, I presume. You must be. That's why you're excited too.
Well, partly. I mean, I had a sell order when I was asleep. You know, my friend Lennox says what I do is I put my orders in the morning, and I go back to bed. That's what he told me when I first met him at his conference. And I said, oh, that sounds like a great job. I like that.
Does that work?
It did this morning.
Yeah, it works. You know, set it and leave it, because half the time when you start watching your trade, you talk yourself out of it. So it's always best if you could just set it and leave it.
Well, I remember you also said, you know,
entry. Yeah.
Keep your losses small and your gains large. So right now we see Tesla is popped up big time, along with the NAS, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good morning.
It is. We have sunshine.
Didn't want to interrupt the class or anything, but I just thought I'd tell you I was here today.
All right. We're getting quite the move here. on NAS. That's amazing. Now, was not expecting that because I wasn't, like I said, I did not look at this 1, 2, 3 as a possible catalyst for this move. So I was just looking at the smaller 1, 2, 3 and looking to just take a quick profit. And then I noticed the larger 1, 2, 3 that was actually in play. So, and there's also a larger 1, 2, 3 overall. So you can see that right now the market's looking quite buoyant. However, if we go up to the daily time frame, we can certainly see a different picture here. So I want everybody to understand that yes, it looked quite buoyant, but it could be a trap that they're setting to entice everybody to go long. We have a 1, 2, 3 right here. So this 1, 2, 3, again, if we look at structure, 1, 2, 3, we expect this leg to be taken. We expect this level to be taken out. So we'd be looking for price to come back down and take that out. So we have our drop already to this low. So we would be expecting this low to be taken. So we're looking for price to come back down. So we want to catch a sell once this move is over to the downside to come back down, take out the low. So it looks pretty good right now, and everybody in the markets are probably quite euphoric and so forth. However, caution has to be taken because it could be a lull play to lull everybody into buying, and then they come back down one more time. So this
You see a 1, 2, 3 on the 1 minute Tesla.
So Peter, I'm up on the weekly, and Peter wants me to drop back down to 1 minute on the Tesla. So a 1, 2, 3 top or bottom?
Bottom.
Gentlemen, so I just came back, but did you guys catch that recent news from Trump?
No. What was the news?
So 16 minutes ago, he said a 90-day pause on tariffs, except for retaliating countries, and he raised tariffs on China.
Again, from 104?
Yep, so 125.
Wow.
But he paused on all other countries.
Interesting. There is a bully in the room. Or somebody standing up to a bully, one or the other, right? All right, so if you're calling this a 1, 2, 3 bottom right here, Peter, yes. Right? Is that what you're referring to?
Yep.
That is so. So we can see that quite clearly that we had this pullback, then we get a 1, 2, 3 right here. So that's a nice move to there. So now they're chopping it. So again, we would expect them to take out this high to give us our structure completion. So it's as simple as that. That's the simple of it. Again, the hard part is trading it. What I see here is if I market this up a little bit, there is a inverted gap on the left side. So right there, we went through that. And then there are no gaps on this current leg right there on the 1 minute. And we retraced, it looks like about 50 to 62% right there. And so that would have been a nice buy to the upside to take out these highs. So again, we're looking for one more push back to the upside. So there is an order block here, and we're coming into that. So we should push off and take out these highs one more time.
Okay, thank you. Sorry to interrupt your train of thought.
No problem. Anybody can interrupt at any time. So I said earlier that when we have a structure, we're expecting price to not come back into the area of the 1 here. Don't want to see price dropping back below this level here. We don't want to see price do that. However, it can. So it can still be a move that takes us up and above the previous high, even if they do come into this area. Sometimes it's just a wick. Sometimes they do close candles down in this area, but it can still go back up. Once price breaks the number 1 point coming down, it's no longer, it's basically not an impulse wave. So an impulse wave is a wave that does not violate. So we don't violate that number 1 point, and it just continues. When it violates it, we're in a different type of a pattern. We're in a pattern that's in some kind of a channel. So that's where we get the violations. So in this case here, that's what's happening. We've come and violated the number 1 point on our 1-2 here. So I'm saying 1-2, but we call it a 1-2-3. We label it 1-2-3. In Elliott wave terms, this is just a 1, and this is not our number 2 point. So, but we call it a 1-2-3. And so they've violated this area. So it's telling us that we're in some type of a different type of a structure, but we're still looking for them to take out this high. What happens when they do break this level, though, is that the probability of them coming back up to break this high can be less than what it is when we don't break it. The probability is much higher that we'll definitely break that level if we do not break this level. So you keep that.
Good analysis. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's, a lot of the times we get the divergence from like NASDAQ will diverge from the S&P, or Tesla will diverge from the S&P or the NAS and so forth. So that's one of the reasons why we get divergences, because we've violated this level, and then we have a hard time getting back up to take out the highs. So
Glad you told me.
It's, you know, again, it's probability. We can still break that high, but again, you have to be really careful. So the key for us is the structure. So once we see a 1, 2, 3, and we can kind of judge, will it actually take that high out? And you can kind of see that based on this little 1, 2, 3, we should indeed take out that high. Might not be by much, but we should be able to take that high out. So that's kind of how I chop the chart up, mash the chart up, and figure things out. Okay, I'm going to try this again, try to upload this. I have to restart my machine here, so let's see if I can do it this time. What? Okay, so you can see it is struggling a little bit here. So what looked like a nice 1, 2, 3 here, we've broken that level, come back down. So if we break this low, we could be in a little bit more jeopardy. So this could become our new 1, 2, 3, and then we could continue back up at this point. But if we break this level, then all bets are off, and something else is going on.
The current peak has the possibility of being the end of wave 3, though. Looking at a 10-minute chart, but probably on a 15-minute chart also.
We swept that high, so it looks like we could be done at that point, certainly. But we do have a 1, 2, 3 here, so we have to keep that in mind, and so we have to expect another one more push. However, they don't have to do that, like I said.
Yeah, unless, yeah, it would be dangerous to go in now for a couple of reasons. The news is coming out in 10 minutes or more, 15 minutes. And, but it suggests that we may or may not be at the end of wave 3. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. So this move, the current move up now, will tell us if we're going to make it or not.
Yeah. Right now we have a 15-minute fractal. If this current one doesn't break the high.
So the head and shoulders forming on the 1-minute chart.
Okay, let's try it this way. It just will not send up to Skype for whatever reason. It's just so bizarre that it won't do it.
By the way, VIX has been dropping. It dropped back down to 37. It was at 50, so yeah, that's encouraging. But volatility is still very high at this point.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to break that high. So all this time, trading here is a little, dicey. I wouldn't really be so keen on jumping. And you could certainly take that trade to the upside, looking to take that high out. But again, because of probability, there's no guarantee that we'll break that high. So looking like we will, we would expect it, but they kind of went a bit weird here. So we do have another 1, 2, 3, and another move here. So we should break that high at this point.
That high on mine is 918.
So I couldn't post that trade up to the Skype room, but here it is. I had to send it by email from my photos. So this was it. This was the NAS trade there just earlier in my live account.
That's a nice trade.
Yeah, I bought it down here. There was a little 1, 2, 3 in there, so I caught it right at that level. So my price was 17,350, which is right in that area there. And then was looking for them to take out this high, like I was saying, and then go into that. Remember, I had a gap here, and I was just a little quarter of the way into the gap when we looked at it. So that's what all I was looking for, and I was basing it off the smaller 1, 2, 3 to come up into that area. So that was all I was looking for. I wasn't expecting that until I saw the larger 1, 2, 3 down here. Then I realized, oh, we could have gone higher for that. But nice profit. It's about $1,700. A little over $1,700 profit on that. I did 6 contracts on that because I was quite confident on that move. I usually only do like 2, but I decided to go a little bit gung ho on that. So that's quite a nice trade. I've had a really good morning. I've been up since before 6, and I've been trading and going back to sleep, and I'm up quite nicely so far this morning. So it's been a good week today. This morning. So will we make it above?
Looks like we have another 1, 2, 3 on the 1 minute chart.
So that's Tesla I'm looking at. And so NAS should be similar. So you can see it's a struggle trying to get up there. And there is a little bit of divergence. You see this low was taken out on the NAS, whereas on Tesla it wasn't. So on Tesla, there's a difference. Right at that point, you see we have divergence. So we have a regular 1, 2, 3 here, but on NASDAQ we do not. So let's see if S&P has a proper 1, 2, 3 at that point, and it does not. So you see, that's what makes this so difficult. If I was sitting on looking at NASDAQ to trade, I would have to wait for a new 1, 2, 3 at this point because this level was taken. Whereas with the NASDAQ, it's the opposite. They have taken they did not take the low. Oh, sorry, they did actually, did they? Or not? No, they did not take that low. They did take that low. Sorry, I'm losing my mind again. They did take that low. And so that's this, it's a new 1, 2, 3 this way. So let's see, let me go back to S&P again. Let me make sure I got this right. S&P is the same as the NAS, but Tesla is different. Tesla gave us a true 1, 2, 3 there because they did not sweep that low. So that's the difference between them. So that's where the divergences come into play, and they mess people up with those divergences. So very sneaky little play there on the market makers' point of view. But that's what they do. So you have to be aware that they do that kind of thing. So I'm dragging this gap. It's an inverted gap now. So this gap from over here that was on the downside. I drag it all the way across because price can use that as a support and bounce and continue up. And that's what's happening. Let's take a look at Bitcoin again. See, Bitcoin is again similar, but a little choppier. But we're getting that 1, 2, 3 at this point to continue here. So nice opportunity there on Bitcoin. I don't want to just jump in because I see a 1, 2, 3. I want to be able to look at it in context to see, am I at a good point in time on the chart to be taking that trade? It's 10:55 right now, 1:55. So 5 minutes before news, probably not a good time to be jumping into a trade, right? You have to be really careful about jumping into a trade right at red news time. It's sometimes it works. Sometimes you can get away with it and you can make some nice money, and other times it does not work out so well for you. So you have to weigh the news carefully. So I'm just gonna take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, wow, interesting here. This is off the 4-hour time frame, and the current 4-hour. I've got these 3 candles over to the right are my current 3 candles right here. Same 3 candles right here, just larger. So I keep them here because on the lower time frame, when I'm on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 50 minute, and so forth, I can see what the 4-hour candle is doing. So the current 4-hour candle opened at 1 o'clock. And gave us a small little tail here, and then off it went. So where is it going? It's taken out the previous 4-hour high, and it's now taken out this previous high. So where are they going with this is the question. Are they going to go take out these highs? You know, there's a lot of little gaps in here and so forth. So it is possible that they could come up here because, again, we have a large 1, 2, 3 on the 4-hour. So structure-wise, we're at this level right here, so we would expect a move like that to take out the current high. We would expect a pullback of some kind and a continuation. So these highs might be in jeopardy here, up here. So I'm going to mark the highest high. I'm on the Bitcoin here, so I'm going to mark the current high here, this high, because that's the first swing high, right? So I'm going to mark that one. Okay, so that's a potential target based off our 1, 2, 3. So I hear somebody yawning away. So somebody's not too awake, as they say, Armin.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about just taking a break and getting some blood flowing here.
Going back to sleep again.
I could.
Yeah, well, you have the luxury, so you know it's a good thing.
Of the luxury.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I fell back to sleep a few times. Actually, when I fell asleep,
Ready to
one
break.
point. I'm sorry.
Getting ready to break that high.
Okay. Yeah, I fell asleep back on one of the times. I think it was I don't know, just before 7:30 or around that area. And I thought, okay, let me see if I can nap for half an hour or whatever. And I was dreaming, and somebody calling me in my dream, Lennox, and I look up and it's Will Smith. I don't know why he's in my dream. I wasn't even thinking about Will Smith or anything. It's like hilarious. So, and he was dressed in a police uniform.
I'll have to write him and tell him you got a crush on him.
And no crush at all. Just very odd that you know, it's funny what you dream, because you know, I wasn't not thinking. There was nothing.
I think they call it a man crush. It's okay. It happens. It's not, you know, anything, you know, but it's just like you really, you know, kind of what your ego is attached. Oh boy, I'd like to hang out with Will. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think something's going on there. As your psychiatrist today, I'm sending you a bill.
maybe at his bank.
Yeah, at a bank. Well, of course, you know,
Will, old buddy, old pal. Eh?
It would be a movie set, you know, where he's like fighting aliens or something. You know, one of those UFO. What do they call it when you re-engineer something? You reverse engineer. That's what it is. Yeah, reverse engineered UFO. He's flying along. Oh, you got to get one of these, man.
It's broken.
Yeah.
Which high are you referring to, George? I'm on Bitcoin, so I'm not sure.
Tesla.
Are you referring to Tesla or NASDAQ?
NASDAQ.
Oh, okay.
The Tesla has gone through.
Okay, so boy, we're really, it's so sad to watch this go without being in it, but they get a little piece of it, so not terrible, but yeah, beautiful moves here. This is just picture perfect, even from this low. So we had the nice 1, 2, 3 this way, and then another 1, 2, 3. So this is really the key area to get in to catch this move. And again, when I opened the computer and got here, I wasn't looking at it in this way. I was down on the 1 minute just looking at this little guy. So had I stepped up a little bit on the higher time frame, I would have seen that larger setup and said, "Oh, okay, they're heading up that way." But hindsight is such. So we're still looking for a retrace. So we're at 11 o'clock now, and I don't see anything happening news-wise. So he must be just starting to speak or something. He hasn't said anything of any consequence.
Last I have is at 2 o'clock FOMC minutes. All participants reviewed it appropriate to keep rates unchanged in light of the uncertainty around the economic outlook.
I read an article about liquidity yesterday. It said the markets are moving wildly because there is no liquidity left. Everybody's broke. All the all the extended accounts that got called, drawdowns and such. There's no liquidity left. So a little bit of money goes a long ways in this market.
Yeah, cash is always king.
So, and I think Musk apparently was screaming and yelling at Navarro yesterday, and so Trump said, "That's it. I gotta take off the pain. Take the clamps off." That's what I think. That's why I didn't sleep well last night. I was going, Trump, you got to do something, or you're gonna wipe out everybody. You guys hear about FOBO, fear of wipeout?
No.
Well, it's a thing. I read it in an article. It said forget about FOMO. We got FOBO going on now. Yep.
Here's gold. Gold. The other day when Omar was playing, I was telling him that you have to be careful because we're coming down into a fourth wave. He was asking me if we weren't going to come back up and take out these highs here on this move back up. And I said, well, it's a possibility, but unlikely because we have a 1, 2, 3 here. So we would more than likely come back down to take out this low down here. However, you can see they did not take out that low. So they tried. We got a 1, 2, 3 here. And they dropped it down, chopped it. I was expecting them to drop it down to take out that low, but they did not. So this is one of those times where it's divergence or something. I'm getting an echo.
I heard another thing yesterday. If I may digress, I heard another thing yesterday. Trump wants to get rid of the Fed, and he wants to go back to the gold standard.
Yeah, that's what Marquis was saying yesterday.
Yeah. So
I like that.
If they do that, that means gold will go probably to 60,000 an ounce, is what I figure. I don't know. There's not enough gold to cover the $36 trillion in debt.
So will they go back, give everybody back their gold? Hey, George, you gave up all your gold that you said, eh?
Did they find any gold in Fort Knox, Armin?
I haven't heard, so I'm thinking that they haven't found it yet. Or if they have, they're keeping mum,
Yeah, better check that first.
I know when Putin was getting ready to go into Ukraine, 10 years prior to his invasion, he went to his guy that, takes care of the economy. It says prepare for war. So that's when Russia started buying gold. And the reason why they do that apparently is they pay for all their military stuff. All the military stuff is paid for with gold. Nobody wants to take currency for military stuff. It's like that's worthless. So one side's going to burn their currency. So kind of like back in the Civil War, right? When they had all that money down south in the U.S. What do they call those dollars again? Confederate dollars.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So, okay, back to gold. So at this point here, I was expecting them to drop it one more time to take out that low and then give us this move to the upside. However, they said, no, we don't want to take out the low at all, which is quite interesting, but because they swept here. So Omar, if you remember, was saying because they swept this low, he figured that they would come back up and take out these highs right away. But I because of the 1, 2, 3 on this side, we have to expect that they could come back down and take the low. So they did not. They came very close to doing it. And what they did instead is make a huge 1, 2, 3 bottom. So because they swept here does not guarantee that this leg, this low is going to be swept again. So they put the brakes on, turn it around, put a nice 1, 2, 3 here. This is all off the hourly. And then we get this big strong move. So if I put the fibs on this 1, 2, 3 here, the extension on the large 1, 2, 3, let's see where 1.618 takes us. That's a nice trade. So if I could have gotten in on the hourly on that trade in this sweet spot area here, that's a nice trade up to my 1.618 target. If we put the fib on the second 1, 2, 3 in here, so move it over like that and like that, and you missed out on getting in in this area and caught it at this area, then your 1.618 is just a little tad lower there, but still a nice trade to that level. So pretty good on that. Give me 1 second, gentlemen. I'll be right back.
Prices on the NASDAQ seem to be kind of treading water right now. It's you don't know if it's just consolidating, wants to go higher, or the Fed will indeed come out and say everybody is going to hold it where they are on the rates. But if they make a change from the hold, you'll get a huge reaction, I would expect. Hey, the news item I got is that top money managers say it was Japan, not China, selling last night that upended the bond market and forced Trump's hand into a pause. Yes, Trump took the win as so many countries wanted to do deals.
That's an interesting thing there, George. So you're saying that the Japanese had enough, they were selling their bonds?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Let me-
Oh, I was saying that was an interesting article. So you said the Japanese overnight were selling their U.S. bonds. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
So when Trump got up this morning at 4 a.m. New York time, he was probably told that you gotta do something here. The Japanese are selling your country.
Not quite sure how they're going to be viewing it because you don't know how much they've sold, etc. The big thing is that Japan has been trying to change their stance. It's something like 19 years that they've been trying to keep the yen pretty low. And they've been trying to make some changes, but I haven't really felt what those changes were going to be and how it would affect our dollar. But if you look at the yen, I think it's been going up relative to the dollar. I haven't looked at it in a heck of a long time.
Yeah, well, Japan has had negative interest rates, I guess, for quite some time.
Yeah,
All right, I'm back. Thank you, guys. Okay, so that was gold. So gold, looking for them to continue pushing higher still. We've got a structure here, but we could come back down and continue back up and continue back down again. So we'll see how that plays out. So gold looking pretty good. I'm going to go back to the NAS. So NAS is still going. So whatever Powell's saying is...
To me, it looks like, Lennox, that they're waiting for Powell to speak.
Oh, he hasn't even spoken yet? Oh,
No,
okay.
no, and while you were out, I just read to the last news. Top money managers say it was Japan, not China, that was selling bonds last night.
Okay. So we're heading up to this this high here. So that could be a turning point. So on the NAS on the 4-hour time frame, we have a, so I'm just going to mark the structure out. We have a 1, 2, 3 at this point. We dropped. So essentially we're in a fourth wave here. Everybody can see that. We're in a fourth wave. We're just chopping up and down in it. And this leg up could be our E leg because we have our 3. So we could have had an A, B, C, D, and this is our E. So we could be coming up to take out this high and then turning around to come back down again. And you can see that gives us that structure that we are so used to seeing, just in a bigger fashion here. So could be a quite the drop coming up shortly. So we still have not had any real pullbacks here.
Yeah, it's in a wait and see mode at this.
Yeah, we're at the top of the 3 right now. So we're basically at the end of the 3 here at this point. And now we could gyrate a little bit here, maybe come back down a little bit, and one more push to take out that high. That's what we would expect. Doesn't have to happen. We could get divergence on S&P or something like that, but then we're coming back down. So this is kind of what I see setting up here. So we'll watch for an opportunity to make a trade, a sell up in this area. So 30-minute still going straight up, 15 minutes still strong, 5 minutes still strong.
Everything is really at a wait and see attitude.
So there we go. So we did break that high, and you can see our structure.
We got the
We're looking to break this high. Whoops. looking to break this high as well. So will we do that? We should.
So far, the high I have is 19,006. And that was 20 minutes ago, roughly.
So that's on the
15
futures.
15 minutes ago, I
Yeah,
should say.
that's the futures high. Okay.
That's not an all-time high, of course, but
Yeah.
I'm saying the immediate high right now on the futures
Yes.
I have is 19,006.
Good afternoon.
Fair value gap on the daily chart that goes up to 221 area.
So, good afternoon, Omar. There's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way structure on Bitcoin. Beautifully done. So would have been a good buy in here to the upside. Again, I was a little hesitant about buying at this point because we're so high up and we're coming through this fourth wave, but that would have been presented a nice opportunity. All right. So Omar, how did you fare in your gold trade? I just went over gold just moments ago.
Yes, I did caught pieces of it going up,
Yeah. So remember when we were looking at it, I just go back over it again real quick. When we were going over it, we were down, we had swept this low and you were looking for it to come back up and you were expecting perhaps that they could take out these highs.
Yes, yes.
However, I said we have a 1, 2, 3 here, so I would expect them to turn it over and come back down and take out the low before we get this move back up. So that's what I was expecting. However, they did not come and take out the low. So the sweep was enough. And so they didn't want to come back and sweep it again. So this
It just
move
came back in the order book.
Yes, this move became a 1, 2, 3 bottom. And that's what's giving us this big push right now. So quite interesting that they didn't come and take out the low. I thought for sure that they would more than likely take out the low again, but they said nope. So you can never bet the farm.
Yeah, you have to be
Flexible.
flexible. Yes, that's the word.
Because if you bet the farm, if I had bet the farm that they were going to take this low out, I would have lost the farm. Right? So you never want to bet the farm is the rule, #1 rule in trading.
A quick look at the 1 minute time frame because I'm in a current gold
Okay.
because I'm in a short trade because I think I saw a 1, 2, 3 top and
Let me just go up to the 5 just to get a better look at it. Okay, so on the 5, so they did sweep the high, and they swept this low. So if we had gotten a pullback in here, that would have been really nice to drop it. But let's see how it looks on the 1 now. So on the 1 minute time frame, at that level up here, when you were looking at it, that was the sweep here, and we're looking for a sweep here. They dropped it down and they pushed back in, but the gap is formed by that candle. So really the break is here. So this would have been a good sell at that point to come down because of the fact that we swept the highs and then swept this low here. So that would be a nice sell. Even if you looked at the retrace at that point coming back up, that would have been a good sell in there, a better sell at that point. So catch the move. So yeah, very good if you caught that move.
and
And you can see, yeah,
I am looking at. Are you on the 1 minute?
I am.
Okay. That is that. Oh, I think I'm looking at gold euro.
Oh, okay. So that's a totally different thing.
Yeah. You're looking at the gold futures, or?
Yeah, I'm looking at gold versus US dollar.
Okay.
So you're on gold euro?
Gold euro, yes.
Well, it's a totally different chop.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, so on the 5 minute on this one, there is a sweep as well. And then we get a 1, 2, 3 with a sweep here. So this is a better presentation at that level on the 1 minute. So if we go to the 1 minute on it and look at it, you can see the sweep at that level. We drop down, sweep this level, pull back up. There's an inverted gap.
That 1, 2 there. So I'm here thinking that they're in a fourth wave, so they should come back down. But
that's a nice setup there. So that's a beautiful drop, 1, 2, 3. And now we're chopping up and down. Of course, you can see what they're doing. So we expect another continuation down to take out all these lows.
yes, that's what I'm expecting. But how they do it can be very.
Oh yeah, they're not going to make it easy for you. Oh yeah, Omar's playing. Oh yeah, Omar's here. Let's yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a gap on the way up right here. So you can mark that gap, which can now become an inverted gap on the way back down. So that was the last gap on this side. So we might stay. You see how price is kind of hugging it. So we could start to fall from here. I wouldn't expect them to take this high, but it's possible. They can certainly spike it and take it and then drop it, but so it's possible they could take that high. So you can look at it from this way. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could certainly take that high one more time. Interesting. That's an interesting one that you've traded, the gold euro. Wow. I don't think I've ever looked at gold versus euro.
Okay.
In all the years I've been looking at the charts. So there they go. They're taking that high. See? So that would be an expectation that they would take the high. And the reason why is because we have a 1, 2, 3 right here. So this 1, 2, 3 tells us that this high is in jeopardy. Isn't that just the most beautiful thing? Like, it's just, wow. Just by that one little 1, 2, 3, what we call our 1, 2, 3, it's so powerful. Yeah, but that's as simple as it is. That's the simple concept. So we expect that high to be taken. They did take it by a tick. They could go a little higher, of course. So there are gaps over here. There's a gap here. Yeah, is that gap in play? This is a down gap, so it hasn't been totally mitigated. You see that?
Which one of the gap?
This gap I'm drawing right now, sitting right over here. That gap there has not been totally mitigated, and it's come into play. And you see how their price is hugging and staying in there, and they're just wicked out of it. That's it. So we did get a sweep of this high, and so now we could look for them to breach these lows here. We could get a 1, 2, 3 here to come down.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
the structure really holds.
The structure is beautiful. So there's a little, yeah.
To discern it can be a real challenge, though.
Yes. So that's why we say it's a simple 1, 2, 3 method or model or concept, but or system, but it's not easy to play.
Yes.
So they can still go higher and take that again, right? So we have to be aware of that as well. But we're basically almost done on that, I would think. Let's see the NAS again. So NAS is just kind of sliding sideways now. So still strong, but kind of snaking sideways. You can see our candles were big here going up, and then all of a sudden now they're starting to go very tiny. So there's a lot of trepidation right now.
Okay, the current candle is a new current high. Getting closer to news time. when Powell will be speaking.
So interesting. I still haven't heard anything.
No, I haven't heard.
Oh, I'm saying Powell. The guy's name is Besant, eh? Who's Besant? Hey, George, who's Besant? Marquis? Who's this Besant guy?
I missed what you're saying.
Okay, I thought it was Powell that was speaking or something, but it's
Yeah, Powell would be who's the chairman, would be talking at past.
okay. So who's this guy? Who's this guy named Besant?
I know.
You do?
Yep. I think he's the chair of the banks, as I remember it. Hang on, I'll look him up for you real quick. But he's the banker, the chief banker,
or something like that.
Secretary of Treasury. That's it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh, that's Besson.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
what I was asking. Who's Besant?
U.S. Treasury Chief.
I see. So Trump temporarily drops tariffs.
Powell's who we're waiting for because he's the Federal Reserve chairman.
Okay, so it says they say Trump temporarily drops all the tariffs to 10% and ups China's to 125%.
Yeah.
Wow. Let the fun begin.
Indeed.
I heard another commentary about it. Basically, it's a giant game of chicken.
Yes, sir. Wow.
You know why the chicken crossed the street, Armin?
No, why did the chicken cross the road this time?
To get across the road.
Oh,
Get to the other side, I hear, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, why did the frog cross the road?
The frog?
It was stapled to the chicken.
Okay.
YouTubers are probably wondering what the hell we're up to.
Yeah, like, okay, I thought these guys were traders. They're all sit down comedians.
This is the
You
fun
gotta
side.
have some somewhere.
Armchair comedians, eh? I'm
Welcome.
sitting on a medicine ball, so there we go. I'm a medicine ball comedian. Who was it that used to come out and sit on a stool? Was it what's his name? What's that guy's name? You see him, skinny, white guy, comedian, comes out and sits on a stool.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
You talking about Howie?
No. Back he's gone now, but he was always political. He's always doing political jokes and things like that. And I can see him, and I can't remember his name.
Did he have a beard?
Bill Maher.
Did he have a beard?
Sometimes I think maybe
Oh,
might have. He was pretty clean shaven most of the time.
okay.
Was it George something?
Carlin.
Yeah.
George Carlin? Yeah.
Carlin. Yeah.
George had a beard at the end of his days there.
Yes, he did. That's what I was saying. He was clean shaven most of the time, and then he had a beard, so he would come out and sit on a stool. Remember?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Ponytail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was pretty hilarious at times.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
I caught that extra run up, Lennox.
on Tesla.
Yeah.
Way to go.
So
Can
you're just jumping in no matter what, eh, Peter?
Can I have
Yeah, I'm
some?
sharpening my razor.
Can I have my money back now? I'm short.
Where are you short at?
260 and change. 260.44. Yeah.
Or you're thinking it's coming back down already, eh?
Well, a little bit.
Well, we have a problem here because on the 4-hour time frame, I have a 1, 2, 3 bottom. So this 1, 2, 3 bottom is in play now because we've broken above it and we're really pushing. So they're looking like they want to go and take out these highs here. And we swept these lows down here. So everything is pointing to a possible move back up.
That also looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going down where the 5 didn't completely go.
We didn't get a completion here, similar to what gold did. We're expecting them to come and take out this low, but they did not do it because they took out all the lows from over here. So they said, okay, let's leave ourselves alone. Let's leave ourselves safe and let's take off. So quite interesting here on that turn of events at that point. So,
well, we're at the standard. We're at the top of the standard deviation line. I got drawn here on Tesla on the 5-minute.
What does that mean?
George explained it to me yesterday. George, what's that mean?
What's that?
Standard deviation. You
Oh.
had.
Oh, you mean on the moving average?
Correct.
Or on, well, I mean, basically, your 1% standard deviation you're talking about on my regression channel?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I use a 120 bar regression channel, and the one standard deviation from that regression channel is on the plus side, and there's a 1 standard deviation on the minus side. And it's uncanny that price tends to keep within that bounds for the most part. Now that's a 120 bar that's constantly moving forward, of course. So the regression channel can go from an up direction to a parallel to a down direction or vice versa.
Did you get all that, Peter? Peter, did you get all that?
Can you translate that into English language for me?
I think you need a PhD.
George, how many years have you been trading now?
Well, I've been trading, Christmas, probably 60 years.
Oh, just
Whoa.
60. Wow.
Actually, it's longer than that, but, I just bought stuff and put it aside.
That wasn't even thought of 60 years ago, never mind.
So George, back in the 1929 crash, when you were a young man.
Sure, it was the 1821 crash. I mean,
No, 1821. There was a crash then too.
Oh boy.
That's awesome. That's awesome, George. Good for you. So we have we have some solid years of experience here in this world of trading.
Yes, we do.
However,
God bless George.
it's not what you did.
60 years to get halfway decent.
Yeah, it's not what you did yesterday or 10 years ago. It's what you did today. Right?
You're only as good as your last trade.
That's right.
So
I can see Tesla here. They're
price is coming my
up.
way. It's coming down. It's looking like it's coming my way. It's 263.
Yeah, I'm expecting a pullback of sorts. So we have to expect that, of course.
That's what I was hoping on. Yeah, I saw a gap.
Yeah, so right now, just marking off the previous highs here. So this one would be the next one, basically the next one in play. There's one just below it, but
I see a gap on the 1 minute on Tesla back at price 258.50.
Let's try to mark this up here. This is so annoying sometimes doing this, but it's well worth doing it. So there's a little high here as well. So looking for them to, it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to push into this previous congestion area, and we could get a chop in here, and then one more push to possibly take out the high. That looks like what's going on here. So we've got this 1, 2, 3 bottom.
Seems to be a strong possibility, yeah.
So do we have any gaps down here below? Yes, we do. We have a gap right. So I'm on the 30-minute time frame. I should be looking really at the 1 hour, but you can see it a lot clearer on the 30. So I'll mark it on the 30. So we do have a gap here, but on the 1 hour, we do have a bigger gap. So if I go back to the 1 hour, the 1 hour gap would take precedence. The 1 hour gap, the 1 hour candle is not closed yet, so it still has another, 24 minutes or whatever. So it can still take that gap out in that sense. So the 30-minute gap would be the one that you would say, okay, that one for sure is there because it's already been made, right? So we could certainly pull back to this gap here. So that would help you, Armin. That would help you if it came back to 256 or less, right?
Oh, okay.
That's a possibility here. So we have to come down to the lower time frames and see what's really going on. So on the 15, remember this is Tesla. I'm looking at. We've had quite the run up.
I'll say.
So we're looking for. Yeah, that's quite the move. If you caught any of that from 230 to 265, wow.
I was kicking myself yesterday for not taking profit at 225. So.
Hold on, I gotta go to the door.
So can we push back down into 255 area? That's possible.
Right.
Possible. I say possible, but it's very strong right now, so it's not looking like they want to pull back very much here at this point.
It's struggling to figure out what it wants to do.
260, 44.
It's for us to figure out what it wants to do.
Yeah.
This is the fun part. Like I always say, this is the fun part of the game, trying to figure out what it's going to do.
48
So,
million shares. Well, Tesla's only traded 148 million shares today.
only?
Only.
Well, MicroStrategy has certainly popped. Look at that.
148.
That's looking good on MicroStrategy here today. Wow. Talk about a 1, 2, 3 bottom, eh? Are you guys seeing that? Is that a 1, 2, 3 bottom or what? So there is our structure. We drop and they come back up into the 50 to 62%. Boom. Take out the highs. That's just beautiful.
Is it going to hit 350 today?
They're up how much here? $60 almost. Wow. Yeah, they could let's see where they're heading. So we've got the highs here that they've taken out already. So the next high is up here. And based on our 1, 2, 3 bottom, they're heading to take out these highs. So I'm hoping, like I said, I'm an optimist. So I'm hoping, remember I marked this all out before and showed you guys that the scenarios that could play out. And we don't want to see the worst case scenario, which is for us to come back down, take out all these lows and drop again. But it looks like that's a possibility. And the reason why is because we have a 1, 2, 3 here. So this 1, 2, 3 at this point is controlling this move. So even though we come back up, they can still drop it back down. So something catastrophic can still happen because we're chopping up and down in here, right?
Yeah.
So we could still drop. So this is the daily. So let me just go and crunch it up a little bit. So this is the high that we were at, I think at that point. Let me just double check. No, we were higher. Okay, so that's the high that we've been at from the daily. We dropped it down, chopped it up, dropped it down, chopped it up, We chopped it up here. So it's looking likely that we're going to come down one more time to take out all these lows. That's why I keep saying that Bitcoin, we could see 72,000. I said 70,000, 75,000. However, there's still room for it to fall some more. So Bitcoin, looking on the daily, we can still come down one more time, take out these lows. So it's the same thing as MicroStrategy. We have this huge 1, 2, 3 top, double 1, 2, 3 top. We drop, chopping up, and we could drop one more time. So we can see 72,000 Bitcoin. That's 10,000 less than where we are right now. So that's a total possibility. Just like when we saw this 1, 2, 3 here, I was calling for them to take out this low and go down to 75,000 area, and we did. So it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. They're doing the same pattern. We just need to drop it back down one more time. After that, though, I'm optimistic that we should really take off to the upside to challenge our 110,000 high. So that's kind of how I see it. But
Yeah,
of course, I could be incorrect.
I would concur. I think that it reminds me of the Cuban Missile Crisis, right, George, where the presidents were talking back and forth by shooting rounds across the bows of ships. The Kennedy was not on the phone. He was just basically ordering his boats what to do to the Russian fleet. And I saw the movie, right? So in this case, I think Trump is firing shots across the bow over at China there, and they're retaliating. So they're communicating by, all these tariff shots.
Yeah,
So one left hook deserves another. Is that what we're saying?
Well, they got big egos, and yeah,
question
China
is who's going to suffer more from this?
China.
Who's gonna blink first, right?
I would think so, simply because we're the largest market in the world. But
Well, they certainly got a large debt bill to pay. Does China have 36 trillion in debt?
Lennox, do you see a 1, 2, 3 top on
we're
1 minute
not
Tesla?
far behind that.
So let's take a look at the 1 minute Tesla here. I'm on the 1 minute NAS. I'm looking at them looking to see if they're going to break this low here. If we break this low, we could start turning to the downside. So
Yeah, but we haven't quite reached that point yet. It's still trying.
Yeah, at this point, Peter, yes, there is a 1, 2, 3 top, but it's still possible that we could continue up a little further here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could just be in a sideways funk.
It looks
we could certainly go higher one more time here.
All right.
So unless and until we break this low, then yeah, we could be coming back down. So we need to break these equal lows here at that point, and then the next one down as well. That would be good, and then that would signal that yeah, maybe we're certainly going to start our drop here, because that's what I'm expecting them to come back down. So
here we go. Getting ready to jump on board there, Peter.
So we do have a legitimate 1, 2, 3. So can we break that low?
What goes up must come down.
Indeed.
Yeah, China has two currencies, right? That's how they manipulate their markets. They got the money inside the country that never leaves, they pay all their people with, and then they got their international currency.
Everything is up today. All the stocks are flying. We've got, let's go back into looking at, let me go up to the 1 hour on all these stocks. We've got Apple, nice pop after a huge drop from 225. We're slowly coming back up. We've got they swept the lows. Got a nice 1, 2, 3 setting up. We could see that kind of move. I'm hoping this is what's going to happen. more so than them coming back down one more time to take that low. So if gold did swept and then took off like that, I'm hoping Apple does the same. And the reason why is, I'm holding these stocks, so I don't want to see them go any lower. Although I'm still buying them at these low prices, so it's a good opportunity to be buying them. Look at Amazon, beautiful 1, 2, 3 bottom, sweep, retrace, boom. So looking good for Amazon to continue pushing to the upside here, right? So that's looking really nice. What's next? What other stocks do I have here? Google, 1, 2, 3 bottom. So they all made the beautiful 1, 2, 3 bottom here. And we're pushing to the upside to take out these highs and higher, because this 1, 2, 3 is in control. So it's portending higher prices here. So it looks really strong, really good. IBM, 1, 2, 3 bottom. So this is a super buying opportunity, unless for some reason we do have a 1, 2, 3 here. So there's still there's still that remote possibility that they can turn this back down. But I'm being an optimist and hoping that we continue going up. But there's no guarantee of it, right? Meta, 1, 2, 3 bottom, boom. So you can see it. You can see that they do the same thing in every instrument. So it's the same pattern. It's just beautiful. This is just beautiful.
My son works for SAP.
Microsoft, same thing. SAP, that's
The German
one. SAP is SAP SE.
Yeah.
They have a 1, 2, 3 bottom, but it's a very tiny one. Interesting. So they swept and then gave us a little 1, 2, 3 bottom, but look at the move off that 1, 2, 3 bottom. Wow. Super nice move from that tiny little 1, 2, 3 bottom there. That's amazing. So your son's happy today.
Yeah, the reason that the price is up is because they're cutting people back. They're trimming the force.
There's NVIDIA. NVIDIA, I mean, this great buying opportunities down here. Big sweep, big move back up, big drop. Boom. So NVIDIA is buy in here, buy down here. But looking really good on NVIDIA. So all these stocks today are rocking. So they better not say anything negative. I was asking for and looking for this turnaround move and hoping that cooler heads would prevail.
264.
And we continue pushing north. There's Visa looking pretty good there as well. But again, I'm still a little bit, gotta be careful still. Just not out of the woods as yet. So our Qubit's not doing very well all of a sudden.
What's that, Lord?
Armin?
What's that? Qubit, yeah. It's only up 10%, yeah. It's
trying. Exo
yeah,
certainly isn't.
I know I bought some up at $8, so a little disappointing. At least it's back up with the rest of the market today. It's XRO, you said everything is up. XRO is down 18.75%. So, so
yeah, not good.
No, not good.
That's why I trade instead of invest some, because most of the time the investments are painful.
Right.
Trading, you can.
I understand. It's
Yeah,
like
you get it.
like Peter says, basically he doesn't trust the market. The whole world could fall apart tomorrow, and so holding overnight is, not trading. That's.
Yeah, we're still just sliding sideways here in Tesla, Peter. So just like I said, that we could just slide sideways here. So that's what they're doing. So
They know
that's
that
still
I'm
looking
late.
for another push to the upside here.
They know that I'm watching.
They said that guy there in Victoria's made way too much money.
Can't hide from me.
All right, we're into the last macro of the third last macro. We're 10 minutes to the last hour. We're in a macro currently. So we could see this macro push us above the highs on Tesla here. See the NAS again, that should be about the same. Nope, well, they did bring the NAS down and took out this low. So will they come back to take out the high again? It's triple high there. So we could see them go back up one more time. So I'm still not convinced we're at the top yet. Although they did take out this low, so we did have a change of character even at this point. See, we had a change of character here. So on that move, sweep, retrace, drop. That's a play. So I'm jumping around too much, so I'm not really making any trades. But let's see if I can get a trade in here, because this might be the opportunity finally to come down. So we've got a gap there. We've also got a gap on this side. So this could be a turning point
Fine, but it
back to the
hasn't.
downside here. Or not. You can still take out these equal highs. So can they go through these gaps, or do we come back down from here? This would have been a nice sell at this point here. This was a nice sell right there into this gap. And you could have caught that move to this level, and you're out. And that's all you need. You don't need much more than that. So if I get a fractal here, I'll take the sell, come back down, take out these lows here. So I'm going to await the fractal. There it is. So I'll sell that. And
So that fractal again, it's basically got two candles with wicks. One's a little higher than the other.
yes. So I'm up almost 2 grand. Yeah, so I'm going to take a partial on that because I can. And we'll let the rest go. So my stop would be just above the high. Oh, did I move that? Thought I did. So just in case they decide to come back, they can keep my stop above. And let's see if we continue down. So I would look to, where would I be looking to put? I don't have to go too low really for a target. Low hanging fruit here. Maybe even these equal lows at this point. That's a long way down, but still totally possible if I can survive in here. No guarantee that I'm going to survive in this point at this point here.
Peter, on the 15-minute on Tesla, do you see a head and shoulders forming up there?
Right now, I see back-to-back 1, 2, 3s on the 1 minute.
Uh-huh. On the 5-minute and the 15-minute, looks like a bit of a head and shoulder forming up. So
Yeah, maybe.
Going sideways here on the 1 minute for how long now? Last hour?
Yeah.
George, what do you think? You think it's time for Tesla to retrace a little bit?
I haven't looked at it in a while. I've been trying to find an entry on the NASDAQ now.
Oh, okay.
Well, we have a change of character. We need to breach this low here to make that official that we're heading down. So if you can be a little patient, wait for breach, you could get one of these to come down.
Okay. The NASDAQ must be doing something similar, right?
Yeah, that's why I jumped in on it to catch that move to come down at that point. So doing it nicely here. So looking good. I don't want to bring my stop down. I want to bring it down, but not too much. I just want to mitigate, a big loss if they do decide to spike back up. But I can't bring it in too tight because they'll take me out. So I'm just looking for profits to this level here, although I could probably go lower. If we break this low, here, it is possible for us to go much lower than where my target is. That's a low-hanging fruit, but I could come down to these levels here.
So is it Bissant that might be speaking into the market here, or is it Powell?
No, it's already an hour since he was supposed to speak. I don't know if he said anything of any consequence.
They might be waiting for the market to close. What do you think there, George? Are they going to do something?
I'm sorry, I haven't gotten back to it. I'm trying to figure out something here.
Okay. Facebook.
So there is our small 1, 2, 3 at that point. This was a sweep over here. So a breach of that low, they come down, take that low out, come back in to a gap. So that's a nice sell right at that point. However, right up at the top of this move, so it's a bit tricky. They could still go up one more time, take out those highs. So you're not totally positive that this is going to drop. So getting the second breach like that, coming back into a gap, that's a much higher probability that yes, we will come down. No guarantee still, but a lot higher probability at that point that we would come down and take out this low now. If we take out this low, then it's high probability that this low will fall. And if that low falls, then a high probability that we could come back down into this gap down here at this level. So I could, once they break this level, I'll move my target down and then move my stop down. That will be the logical thing to do. All right, so there I go. So I would bring my target down to this level.
No, Tesla's dropping like a rock right now.
Let's go $6,000 and move my stop into positive here. So no losing on this trade. Nice profit like that. Maybe I shouldn't be too greedy, just take the profit and run, but looks pretty good that we should continue going down, taking out this low next. And we did. So I can move my stop down a bit more, but I'm taking a risk moving my stop down this tight because they can easily take me out now. Let's see if we make it right down to that level. If I go higher on the 5 minute, you can see there's a lot of room for us to come down. So even this target might be too tight. I could still look to come down to this level with my target even, and even maybe even lower. But again, don't want to be too greedy or anything like that. Just kind of see how this plays out as it crosses these previous lows. So they can spike it up quickly here and take me out, but there is a gap here, so I'm above the gap, so hopefully that will hold and keep it as resistance, and we'll continue pushing to the downside here. So Tesla should be doing the same. Yeah, starting to. So there we go. So, you know, by waiting for this, sometimes it's not so great waiting for that because they might not retrace. They'll just go instead. But at this point here, there was a little bit of a retrace, so that could have been an entry. So similar type of thing. We couldn't take the high. We get a 1, 2, 3 here, so that's an entry at that point. Then they couldn't take this high again, so they take this low, come back up again. So that's an entry in that area, and then this little one, another entry. If you get a retrace here, it's another entry opportunity. So lots of chances to get in, to drop at this point, if we're indeed going to come down. And you see they've come back up and taken me out. So that's just the way it is. Sometimes you move your stop down and it costs you. So there goes my order. So I can still get in. That's the beauty of the game. If I still feel that we're going to come down, I can still sell at this point to come down. So I'm gone. So it still made some nice profits on that. So we're back into an order block here. I would expect them to still continue going down. So I'm going to look for a fractal here again to sell. So they're taking that high. Figured they might do that. Could take this high as well. So moving my stop down helped to give me that profit. I could have taken the profit at this point, which would have given me much more profit. Nothing wrong with that. And then I could have waited for a pullback to get in, but you don't know for certain if they're going to pull back that much. So there's no guarantee that it's going to do that. Sometimes they just do this, right? So you just don't know for sure how much they're going to pull back. So here let's see if we get a fractal here. And if I do, I'm selling it. So we don't have any gaps up here. None. No, there's a tiny little one right there. That's so tiny. There is a little gap right there. So it is possible for them to touch it and come back. That would be quite the retracing.
That's a huge retrace we're getting.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they retraced so much. So, not terribly surprised. Again, we have to look at our structure. So from this level, you can see our structure has played out. So now it makes sense why they're doing what they're doing, because they're retracing this entire amount, this entire leg. So we can certainly come up into around the 50% level. So if I put the fib on from this high down, where is 50%? So we can see that the 50% takes us right here. So we can certainly push above that. They might even take out this high. Yeah, this high could be in jeopardy right here. So our 50% retrace level is here. So we want to see them come above 50% and then give us a 1, 2, 3 here to come back down. So we're getting a fractal, but I don't think we're done going up yet. So my gap over here is still in effect.
Well, they're into that gap.
Okay, so this little, wow, this little gap here is holding price back. So do we get one more push up or not? Let's see. Doesn't look so. It's possible still, but looking unlikely now because so I might have missed my opportunity. It got a nice fractal, but I thought maybe we'd go one more time and push into this gap, maybe even take out this high. So it's still possible. Still possible. I've got a 1, 2, 3 here and this move. So I'm looking for one more push to take out the high. Let's see if that happens here. This gap is holding as support now. This gap is resistance. So we are in the last hour.
260.
Trump speaking, breaking news here.
Again?
Yeah. He says, I'm handsome and I look good and the ladies love it. And yeah. Oh yeah, and about the tariffs.
I bought another dozen Teslas today.
Yeah.
Giving away as presents to all the people that still believe in me.
Looking for another push on the NAS here up to this level. So I'm playing the NAS. I'm not really playing the futures, but the futures will be this similar pattern. So about 50% would take us into this gap up here. This is an inverted gap now, so it could still come into play. But there's like I say, there's a tiny sliver of a gap right here, very, very small. It's like minute, and we've hit that. But I'd like to see them go through it and go and take out the high one more time. So will we get that or not? My seconds chart's not behaving, so it's not helping me today. Omar, you're sleeping?
Oh, no, I'm here.
Well, go on, my brother.
What's some day?
Don't a yard.
Yes, sir.
You missed the breadfruit and ackee and saltfish and dumpling and
Yes, sir.
serious thing.
Indeed. There's not a lot of breadfruit now, though. But it's not the height of the season.
There's none up here.
That pushed that thing up.
Yeah. But gold is just rocking up.
Yeah, I would think gold would be rocking up. So you can see now we're getting that pushback. So looking to take that high, like I was expecting. So is it a sell opportunity now? So we have to look at this from a higher time frame now, because yes, they've gone back up and they've almost taken that high, very close. So is it a sell, or are they faking us to go short, right? So this is the ultimate point here where you have to be careful because if you sell, they could go up to take out those equal highs there first. They're still sitting there. So let's look at the structure. We have 1, 2, 3 here, another 1, 2, 3, yet another 1, 2, 3, boom. So we're not done. Can you see that?
You're looking at gold.
We're not coming down, guys.
You're looking at gold.
No, that's NAS.
Okay.
So gold will probably be the same. Where's my gold? There's gold. This is gold on the 15. So I'll go up to the hourly. So gold, big, huge 1, 2, 3 bottom, another 1, 2, 3 bottom, move up to this level. So we're in a fourth wave. So we can chop or we can just go straight through, right? So which one will they do? Will they chop it or will we go straight through? So we know where we are now with gold, and it's the same thing with the NAS. Essentially, we're at this level. They can chop it up and down in here, or we can continue going straight up.
So you're saying they're chopping up gold right now to go where? Up to 3,500, 4,000?
It looks so. Well, we're going to break 3,100. Let's see how it looks on the hourly. 3,500 might be a stretch at this point. Yeah, I mean, looking at 3,170, that high over there. You got to look at the low hanging fruit first. So that high there, that's around 3,140. And we could certainly go through and take out the other high up there. So if everything plays out, then that would be the low hanging fruit. However, we do have a 1, 2, 3 here. So this still could be just a fourth wave, and we could still come back down before we even take out this guy. That's possible. We could still come back down and take out these lows. Don't want to see that happen, though. Don't want to see this happen. But what I want to see and what happens are two different things, right? So this is still a possibility that could happen. So you always have to be aware of the different possibilities.
Yeah.
So you can see again, if you sell here, then you could be in jeopardy. So I thought at first that maybe we could come all the way down into this gap here, but they said no, we don't really want to do that right now. So our structure then is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're doing it 1, 2, and so we're heading to take out the highs. So you can see now clearly what they're doing. And so these gaps aren't holding these, and we're just cutting through. So this would have been a buy at this point.
50, 264, 50.
So quite interesting. When you're looking at it, sometimes you're thinking, oh yeah, okay, maybe they'll turn back. But they come up to 50% area and then they're going through all these highs. They're not looking to turn whatsoever. So these highs now become those are the targets, especially when we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom. So had I looked at it from the higher time frame immediately, when we got here, this would have been a buy instead of trying to look for a sell. So that's the big difference. You have to jump up a time frame to really see what are they really doing. And you can see they're still continuing the push to go higher. So where are they going to, again, is the question. So we have to go higher, maybe the 4 hour We still haven't reached that high yet. So this is the first low hanging fruit. And there's a gap there as well. So this looks like a reasonable point for them to go to. And so let's see if they go right into the middle of it. They could do that. Of that, because most of the gap has been mitigated, so we could go right into the middle of that there.
Sorry, it looks like we're consolidating on Tesla. Wave forward could push higher tomorrow.
So again, Tesla is a similar thing. We do have a 1, 2, 3 here. This is what has controlled the move all the way down. Now we have this move here. So again, are we just in a fourth wave? This is the E leg of that fourth wave, and we can't get by this area. We might just come up to it. They might wick it even, but then we could come straight back down, taking out all these lows here. All these lows that all the buyers could be in jeopardy.
So there's
do not want to see that.
There's hope for the short sellers just for a little bit, maybe.
Maybe. We don't really want to see this. We want to see Trump being correct and he's doing the right thing and making America great again, right?
When?
Most people, a lot of people would probably say, well, if he resigned, then maybe. We're probably being flagged every time we use Trump in a sentence, eh?
Could be.
Big Brother is watching.
There's a fellow watching, listening to out of California. His name is Joseph Z. And he's saying we got to basically pray against that nuke coming over. Till about July, he figures we have a risk of getting some kind of nuclear going on. So
a nuclear summer?
Yep.
That's not good. And they will be targeting New York City more than likely.
You got to wonder, Iran is being threatened, so they're probably trying very hard to keep their program going, and they're probably dispersing a lot of material. And I guess
you got to hang out in the basement.
A suitcase bomb is something that they're most worried about, floating over on a container ship somewheres and going into New York Harbor for offloading, and bingo bango.
Interesting.
Well, I still remember where I was when the Twin Towers came down. I was sitting at a computer doing some international trading. And here I am 25 years later doing some more international trading. I'm going, I've seen this movie before.
Deja vu.
Well,
Tesla's heading up to take out its highs. So same as the NAS here. So we just missed an opportunity there. I was waiting for a pullback to maybe take a ride up to the highs and higher, but someone pulled me away to Tesla. So
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Good. It's all good.
Trading. I'm gonna look at TradingView and
if we could catch every move, eh?
TradingView. What's it saying about the biggest movers today?
If we could catch every move, it'd be awesome. That's the gap right there that they came back into. There. Perfectly. And off they went. Break of structure. All right, so that's a little gap, eh? You see how they use that gap? It's amazing. Just a little gap, they just come back, and then they give us a fractal break, boom. That's a buy right there. Or you can buy it here when they come in here. And that's a 1, 2, 3 at that point. And off we go. But the best 1, 2, 3 is here. An even better one is down here. And there's no stopping the markets today, guys. I'm really glad to see this happening, though. I was looking at my portfolio, actually my wife's portfolio, and she was down, for 5% or something since Trump started the tariff stuff, and she was almost in a panic. Oh no, should I take everything out? And it's like, no. Let's hold the fort, and let cooler heads prevail, hopefully, right?
Yeah. If you can withstand the drawdown.
Yeah, you have to be able to withstand the drawdown. All right, we're coming into that last gap up here now, so this could be the turning point. All right, so calling it now. We're at 12:22, 3:22 Eastern. We could be coming into a turning point at this point.
We got a new high now in this thing.
So we're hitting that gap.
Yeah.
We come into the middle of that gap because, again, remember, we have a 1, 2, 3 top here. So this is the key. I'm going to reiterate it again. We've done this kind of stuff. So we could be at a turning point to come back down. Not that we're going to do this today, but certainly this could happen over.
Was that number 2-point breach, Lennox?
Right here?
Yeah, because I can't see the wick on. Was it breach?
This number 2 point here?
Yes.
It looks very close. It looks like it might be very tight. Yeah, could be. Yeah.
Okay.
So this can turn into a wick now, right?
Okay.
You see? So they can make it into a wick. So that will be okay for them to do that. See?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they have definitely, they're going up into the middle of it. So I'm going to go down to the 15s. Now you can see they're coming up into the middle of it. So on the 5, pushing up. So all we have to do is pinpoint our 1, 2, 3 bottom, which is here, and then we know where they're going. See, so they're looking to go into the middle of that gap. Same thing here. They did that. We know that they're going to take this low and possibly take that low. They did. I should have realized at that point that we were more than likely done. I could have caught this move going up. But I'll certainly try to catch the 1, 2, 3 top here to come back down.
Would you expect a similar thing on gold? Lennox?
Let's see.
Okay.
Gold's flat. So you can see gold also the same kind of structure on the 1 minute. Come through this flat, and then we make a 1, 2. We do have a 1, 2, 3, another 1, 2, 3. Let's move up 3, 4. So we're very close to a top because we're sideways, and they're looking to push one more time, take out those highs, make a 1, 2, 3, and that's a likely scenario as well, right? So where are we on gold at this point? So I have to go up to the higher time frame to get an idea. So look at that. We're right into a gap. Amazing. Who could have thought that, eh? So over there into a gap. That's just crazy.
That's a 5?
Hmm? This is the hourly.
That's the 1 hour.
That's an hourly gap, which is very powerful.
Yeah.
So we've come right back into it, and we're right dead center of it, essentially. And we can see our structure on the hourly time frame from this level, from this 1, 2, 3 at this point. You can see the structure is very prominent, 1, 2, and 3, 4 at this point. So we could certainly take the high out one more time, right? And then we could be coming back down. So these lows are not completely safe, but I'm hoping they are. I'm really, for the sake of everyone out there who is, who has investments and jobs and things like that, we don't want to see price coming back down again, because it's not going to bode well if they do. So right now we have a 1, 2, 3 on gold on the 15. So you can see we're pushing to go higher, right?
Yeah, well, a 3 months pause takes us into July, right? May, June, July.
The doldrums of summer. Here's the 5 minute on gold. We swept down here. We made a beautiful 1, 2, 3 bottom. So we know where we are. We're pushing up to take out these highs. So we still have some more movements in gold to go. They can chop it up in here, of course. So there's still a little bit more movements to go. So let's see if NAS is the same. NAS is breaking that high. So right up into the dead center of that gap we've touched now. Is the futures the same? Looks so. Let me go up to the 4 hour on the futures. There's our gap up there. We're touching that gap. So I wouldn't expect them to go too much higher into this gap, really, at this point. That should be, we should be very close to a turnaround point at this time. Got a lot of stuff on this chart, on this futures chart.
Hey, Peter, are you there?
Peter's gone to the bank. Again.
The buyers have been piling in, so they might take it down at the macro.
Yes, that's what it looks like they're going to do today. So there's NAS. Futures.
What do they look? Sorry, what do they look like they're going to do today?
And then drop the market back down.
Trap all the buyers, possibly.
Yeah, so you can see the same pattern, just like on gold. We got a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom, and we've moved up strategically to this level. We're very much inside the here's the midpoint of the gap on from the 4 hour. So we're a ways still from there, but certainly possibility of moving into it still, because there's still room for them to go up. So what they might do here at the end is push price right up to the middle, and then we'll get this big drop coming back down.
Well, you got to think that all the people that have gone long today are happy to take profit here, but might be a lot of selling pressure.
It behooves them to take their profits off, because this could be a nasty fall here. What kind of news do we have for tomorrow? Tomorrow is the 10th, and we have CPI. Uh-oh. This might not be good tomorrow morning. Unemployment and CPI.
What's CPI again? That's core
price index.
Okay,
consumer, right. Is a consumer price index?
Consumer.
Yeah. There's one called core CPI. So core
thing that controls the dollar in the United States.
Yeah, so we might have a rocky ride tomorrow in the markets for sure, right? So you can see this moving up, coming back down, and continuing down overnight. Or fake there, and they might fake people to continue going back up and then drop it down. So something like that. But yeah, so looking for one more push to the upside here. So again, for those on YouTube watching us, give us a like, subscribe to the channel. This is real life, real TV, play by play, bar by bar, blow by blow, live. Seeing how the markets move in real time, real TV. Calling it before it happens. Trying to call it before it happens. That's the whole key to the game, right? You got to have an idea of what it's going to do before it does it. So there is our structure. So this little blip here is kind of like just a little blip. So the bigger move is there. So this whole thing consists of 5 waves in itself. And now we get the extra move to go up. So are we going to make it to the middle? We might just go quarter of the way, or half of the way, or quarter of the whole gap. So half of the half. We might just go there, and then we could turn back. So we're looking for a turnaround at this point. And we have about
close.
About less than 20 minutes before macro. Yesterday's macro was really nice and called it correctly, and we caught the move, so it was really good. So let's see if we can do it again today. So what I'm talking about, macros and algos and so forth, at let me go to 10 o'clock this morning. Today is the 9th, so let's go to today at 9:30. No, at 10 o'clock, sorry. At 10 o'clock this morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time, right there. There's a macro, ICT, Michael Huddleston, swears that there is a macro, no, there's an algo, I'm sorry, it's called an algorithm that runs every day at 10 o'clock. It starts at 10 and it ends, sorry, it doesn't end at 10. Sorry, let me do that again. There's an algorithm that starts at 10, and it can last as long as to 11. So let me move the chart over a little bit here, if I can. Didn't mean to do that. That was not what I wanted to do. Can I do that again? I don't know what I just did. I really don't know what I just pressed there, but it said reset chart. So let's make it bigger again. Am I at the same spot? I'm sorry, I just lost my way here. Sorry about that, guys. Let me do it again. Go to. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm just going to move over a little bit here. All right, so the macro, the algo, boy. The algo starts at 10 o'clock and goes to 11 o'clock. So you have that window to catch the algo, is basically what he's saying. There's an algorithm that runs between this time and that time, right? Between those two times, 10 and 11. So what you're looking for in the algorithm is once the 10 o'clock time starts, you're looking for the first fair value gap that paints. Once that fair value gap paints, it's typically the gap that's going to cause the algo to spool, to move. That's basically the gist of it. So in this case, this morning, on the 1 minute time frame, there's a big gap right here. So I'm going to mark that. I'm going to mark it just to show you what basically he's talking about. And I think this is, you know, of course I could be wrong, so you can watch his own videos on it and you will get a better idea of what he's talking about and so forth. But there are also inverted gaps here. So I take those into consideration as well. So this inverted gap is better than the actual gap itself. So you see how the inverted gap price stayed within it. Only the wicks went out of it. So this move here, chop, 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 up, is a great sell opportunity to the downside. If you have looked at it from the higher time frame and realized that, okay, you're at a point where price could fall back, then that would be what you would be looking for. So that's the algo. Now, before the algo at 10 o'clock, at 9:50, there is a macro that runs. And the macro runs from 9:50 to 10:10. So it's a 20-minute window where a macro runs. So the macro is different from the algo in that the algo is seeking liquidity way down and so forth. But the macro is also seeking liquidity, but in a shorter time span. In a shorter time, it's looking to seek liquidity. So it starts over here at 10 o'clock, and in this case, they swept up here, and then they dropped it back down and so forth. So not much of a macro at that time, but the algo took over and gave us that big move. So did it continue going down? I would expect that this would continue going down because I have a big 1, 2, 3 here. Another great opportunity for a sell to go down, and this should go down a lot further because my 1, 2, 3 is telling me that that should. So let's see if it did. And it did not go down a huge amount from here. Let's see if it continued going down. Could come back up. And nope. So that's as far as it went. So the 1, 2, 3 here just gave us a little blip. Interesting. It looked like we should go a lot lower than that, but in this case it said nope, not doing it. So it was going to the upside. So it changed directions really quickly there. So you have to be on the ball for that kind of stuff as well. So that's what when I talk about macros and algos, that's what's going on. Macros every 10 minutes to every hour, and algos occur at specific times, 10 Eastern and 2 o'clock Eastern and 3 a.m. in the morning Eastern. Okay, so we're getting that turnaround like I was expecting here. And it's already occurring quickly. Wow. So we're breaking the lows. That was fast, eh? So nobody tells me this, eh, that this thing is breaking. Thanks, guys.
Well, I'm just watching gold, so
Gold is probably doing the same thing.
not as yet. Not as yet.
Not as yet. Okay, so I'm getting a breach and a retrace right now on the NASDAQ here. So looking to go back up into a gap up here. If I can get this thing to settle down here. Okay, so there's a gap here. I'm going to make this a little bigger.
Could they challenge the highs one more time? Because I'm looking at gold and gold hasn't taken the high as yet.
I don't think we're going to challenge the high on this one. I've got a gap there and I've got an inverted gap and a regular gap here. So I think we might be done on this one. So we've got the sweep. We've got the sweep. We've got the drop back into the gap. So I think we should be coming down at this point. So I'm going to take a sell. But they're going higher. So why are they going higher? There's another inverted gap there. So there's another one here. So that's maybe why they're going higher. Let's see. That's a better one than the lower one. So they're going into this inverted gap. We could turn here now. They did go above it. So looking for a turn of events, turn of fortune here. Otherwise, they, like you say, Omar, they could be taking out the high one more time. That's totally, it's totally a possibility.
Highs.
So,
yeah, gold took out the high just now and seemed to be pushing a little higher, but
Because you're talking gold euro.
Yes.
Yeah, so the gold XAU USD is not
yes.
doing that. So interesting. So NASDAQ like that. Let's see how S&P looks at the same point. S&P is doing the same thing. Let's see how Tesla is doing at the same point. Tesla is also doing the same thing. Yep. And let's see how Bitcoin is doing at the same point. Bitcoin is doing the same thing as well. So there are opportunities here because we've got a sweep on Bitcoin, sweep here, pull back. This is a beauty right there for Bitcoin to the downside. Let me just, we've got a nice gap there. This is a regular gap right here. When I say a regular gap, it's just a, there's a name for it. I can't remember what he calls, what ICT calls it, but I call it a regular gap, but there's also an inverted gap there. So we've got a lot of gaps here. And we've got rejection. And so that, yeah, I'm a little low now, but my sell would have been better
That's
at
an order
up here.
block that you're in, isn't it?
Hmm?
Oh, I see. It's either an order block or a gap.
No, there's two different gaps. One's a fair value gap, and there's another name for the other, our regular gaps, where you have just a gap between the two candles. It's called a, I think Marquis knows what it's called. He's holding out on me here, Marquis.
A liquidity void.
There we go. See?
Well,
A liquidity void.
oh,
Because there's nothing there. So there, you know, there's nothing in between here. There was no trade in here really. It just went real quickly. So yeah, so there's Bitcoin. So it looks pretty good that we're at the top of this move. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got the sweep. We got the sweep again at this level. We get a pull back in. This would have been a really good sell right there. So I'm gonna have to get another sweep, sorry, another pushback up, or a sweep of this low and another pullback in like that to take the trade. I'm probably nickel and diming at this point. I could just jump in at this point and take it, but don't like to do that down here because they can pull back on you and then you put you in deep troubles. So better for you to wait for the retrace up. So there's a lot of gaps in here on Bitcoin. So there's another gap here. There's another inverted gap, and it's got an inverted gap and a liquidity void as well in there. And so you incorporate both. So if they pull back into that there, that would be a good sell. So I'll watch for that.
I got to ask, what is a liquidity void?
All this terminology, it's just insanity.
So
just your regular gap, you know, like when Tesla gaps first thing in the morning, there's a gap between two candles.
So he has an explanation for it. So a liquidity void is when price moves so fast that there's basically the market makers weren't able to get orders in at every tick. So basically it has to, there's a void of kind of liquidity in here because there was such fast movement. So because the market makers, they'll move the market, and every tick that it goes up, they're getting in orders. So basically a liquidity void is when it moves up so fast that they aren't able to get orders in that particular area.
Okay, thank you.
So here's one right here, and it's just a tiny little one. Let me just get rid of that. There's one right here between these two candles. So it's between two candles. That's what constitutes that void right there.
Oh, okay.
A fair value gap is between three candles. So it's this low and between this high. There's a gap. So that's the difference.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Liquidity gap. I get it.
So we learn something new every day when we come to the simple 1, 2, 3 trading group, right?
Right.
That's what it's all about. We got to learn something each day. Otherwise, it's no fun. All right, so looking for a drop still, but they're still playing around. We've got 5 minutes before the macro here, and it's still looking like they want to possibly go up and take the high one more time. So although we've swept over here, swept here, looking pretty good that we should be selling here. They're kind of making it look like they want to go up one more time. So that's still a possibility. You see, so you have to be careful. Bitcoin is looking like it wants to just drop, period. Yeah, it's doing it already. So Bitcoin, I missed. Yeah, I fooled around in here. I could have taken the trade and missed that opportunity. So it's already doing what I'm expecting. So that's what we're looking for. Take a picture of that. That's, if you can catch that every time, this is just money all the time. And how do you spell money? It's with an M, right? See? So do we have an M here? Not really. Not quite. Sort of, kind of.
So the tail end of the M is still unfolding there.
Yeah, see how Bitcoin, where did Bitcoin go? Made a better looking M.
Is that the golden arches? That's the golden arches.
So that's quite the nice drop there. That's a lot of money there, right, on Bitcoin, just that move. Don't need much. All right, so they're still trying. We got 3 minutes left. So it looks like what they're going to do is take out the highs one more time. So one more squeak up, and then we'll be coming down.
I don't want him to do that because I'm already in goal. But you can.
You're selling gold?
Yeah, I'm just selling it on the retrace as a retracement.
So we had the sweep here. So they need to come and sweep this level, something like that. So we can see that they chopped it up here, took all the sellers out, and now they're looking to make a 1, 2, 3 here first, and then another drop. So this is a sell at this point on gold. We've got 2 minutes left on the NAS. They're still pushing to the upside. Interesting. S&P, same. Bitcoin is pushing back up. So is there something for them to come back into? There's a little gap right here. So it's possible for them to come all the way back to this little gap. And maybe even higher. But that would be, if we came back up there on Bitcoin, that would be a sell again. There's also a massive inverted gap over here. So they might just come to the middle of it and drop. So the only way I can tell where they're going to go back up to is based on the first move down here, the 1, 2, 3. So I can see that it's possible for them to go up quite a ways here. They could come back all the way up here. Okay, so we're in the last minute. Good. Yeah, so let me go back to NAS and see what they do on NAS here. Looking for them to spike it up first. Yes, so they did, right? So that would be the expected move to the upside. Are they going to go very high? It looks like they can go up a ways here. So they're not really done. So I was looking for them really to come down, but they're not. So that's very interesting there. So they're still moving. So I'm glad that it's going up rather than going down. Sorry, Omar.
Sorry.
Oh, gold is still holding to the downside though.
We have a 1, 2, 3 bottom though.
You heard me, Lennox?
Yes, but we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom here, so
That's the euro gold?
no,
Or gold euro, sorry.
no.
Oh well.
Let's see what euro. Whoops. Let's see what euro gold is doing. Just for your sake, there, Omar.
Yes.
Yeah, it's looking lean because you have a 1, 2, 3 bottom here, Omar. So we know where we are, right?
So are you expecting them to go higher or
Yes.
come back down?
Go higher. Because there's a 1, 2, 3 there still. So we need to see where they're heading. So there's a high here, right? So because this high now is in play.
What time frame is that?
This is the 4 hour.
Oh no, I'm looking at the 1 minute.
Yes, but even from the 1 minute, this 4 hour high is in play. You see, so you have to look at it like that. So, and there's also a gap there on the 4 hour. So we're into that gap right now. I'm just going to mark this up. All right, so we're right in the middle of the gap. So if I drop back to the 1 minute, so there's the middle of the gap from the 4 hour with that dotted line. And we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom right here. And so they moved up, they come back in, but they came back into this area, interestingly. So it might be a struggle to get back up there, but it's equal highs up here. So they're more than likely going to take that high, see? Because of this 1, 2, 3 here. So it's a chop.
There's also a fair value gap to the right, on the leg down.
Under here?
No, to the last leg coming down from the high.
Here.
No, from the high.
In here.
Right there, yes, that gap.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking they're going to take the high. But they did come a bit deep into this move, right? So let me look at the regular gold again. So they come back quite a bit in here. So maybe that might be the top because we're very close to that high. And that could be the top, but see the difference with the euro one is they came a little higher. So it is possible for them to, if they drop through, then, and these are equal lows here too, so we could drop through and then get a retrace and we could drop. That'll give you your head and shoulders, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that for you. All right, so NAS is still going up, but they're not going up very fast here, so the macro is not really kicking in with much vigor today. So we do have a 1, 2, 3 bottom. So we know where we are. We should be going up a little higher. So where are they going to? Again, is the question. So you have to always ask yourself, where are they going? So we've gone through this gap. They're really cutting into this 1, 2, 3 top. I thought this gap would hold price back, but it's not at this point. This can still turn into a wick. Right, but you can see that 4 hour bar was very powerful. So when I look at it from the daily standpoint, again, from the daily standpoint, I'm still sticking to that 1, 2, 3 top that's holding. So it's still looking like we're going to come down. As much as they're pushing it up, it's still looking like we're going to do this, unfortunately, guys. Unfortunately. So that's really unfortunate. I don't want to see that happen, but it looks like that's what's going to happen. That would be a very unfortunate turn of events if they do that. So what could happen here that would cause this thing to crash again? Would be the question. So we'll get 1, 2, 3, then get 4, 5, one more time to take out the highs, and then we'll be looking to come down. So I sold Bitcoin. I'm making some nice profits there on Bitcoin. So I'm going to take a little something off right now. 12 contracts. I'll do 6 of them. That's a nice drop right there. Beautiful. Put a stop in. Let me put my stop into positive just because I can. But they could come back up and kill me. So that's a nice drop on Bitcoin. So expecting that, because Bitcoin has done it as I'm expecting. So they did that move back in, they sweep it again, they come back up, they don't break the high, and then they start going back down. So take the sell. They can still come back up, of course, and take this out, but right now this was a move. So if they can't take this low and continue down, then yeah, I could be taken out here. And it looks like I might be. Whoa, that was close. Very close to taking me out there. Yeah, it might take me out still. Looks like I got taken out of Bitcoin. Yeah, so yeah, that's a possibility that they could take me out because I moved my stop into positive. Could have left it above into negative, but they can still spike through that and take you out as well because they're wicked, right? They use the wicks to kill you.
Advance. Accounts.
So quick profits there. You see the NAS again. So still looking for the NAS to break these highs one more time. One more time. How's gold doing now? Okay, so they did break the low, right? And so we come down. So we're coming back up into the gap. So we could see a fall here now, Omar. Hopefully, for your sake.
Yeah, I just sold it in the gap there, but hopefully it can hold. But there's also a gap to the upside, so you know there's a bullish gap as well. So you know it's in a delicate position.
Well, we have a change of character here, so things are pointing for us to come back down as long as we do not reach this gap.
Yeah, they never do make it easy at all.
No, sir. No such thing. Only for George.
Interesting.
Only if you're American. Oh,
Okay.
Marquis as well. Yeah, hey, Marquis.
Yeah.
Some days.
Some days.
Only in our dreams, we should really say. Right?
Yeah, they will. You will see the pattern, and you want to go long, and everything is playing out. But then they will try to get you all confused and change your mind.
Yes, sir. That's how they roll. Confuse the sheeple. Get them all in fear and trepidation. To get them to trample each other. That's how they roll. It's a good ploy. So we got the bell.
Yep, that was the bell.
All right, so gold looks like it might want to fall here. Let's see the NAS. NAS is still trying to go up and take out the high. See, they're still trying to get up there and take out that high. So not much going on the macro today. So the macro did nothing really from 10 minutes to. It did absolutely nothing. So yesterday was quite dynamic, but
Well,
today no.
there was a lot of move. There was a lot of move before the macro, so I guess
Yes.
it compensates. Yeah, there were a lot of macro moves or algo moves, as George would call it.
So tomorrow morning will be interesting with the news. All right, so give me 1 minute, gentlemen. I'll be right back, and then I'll say goodbye to everyone. We do have a meeting scheduled. All right, I'll be right back.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Have a good one. Yeah, we have a meeting coming up in a couple minutes.